Immersed in the varied cultures and the unique natural habitats with the breathtaking wildlife populations, Africa fascinates. This fascination with Africa stems from the great variety of the natural environments, the wonderful diversity, and the numbers of species they sustain. As impressive as these sights may be, pursuing these animals shall only become interesting when the hunt provides a challenge to the modern hunter. The taking of an animal should not be too easy. The risk of an unsuccessful outcome adds mystery and personalizes the hunting experience and is therefore a prerequisite. The Cape buffalo provides one of the biggest challenges in Africa to the modern hunter. Those who have experienced buffaloes only in national parks might not share this excitement, as here they seem rather slow and cow-like. Those who have experienced buffalo hunting know about the powerful aura which radiates from this species. At nearly 2,000 pounds, the dark, massive body and heavy sweeping horns makes an old bull a most impressive sight. From the moment he notices the human presence, a buffalo stands his ground, facing the potential enemy. His supremacy is evident in his aggressive posture, and even when he runs off, it may be without showing any fear. Witnessing this expression of power and strength, the hunter is made aware of the potential dangers that underlie buffalo hunting. There are many ways to experience a buffalo hunt. On the majority of safaris, you'll be driven around in a vehicle until you find the animals. Then you will initiate an approach in pursuit of a good bull. Or you may find some fresh signs of a bull or a herd crossing your path. Should these tracks be of that day, you will follow them on foot. This is a very exciting way of hunting buffaloes which, at times, will demand your full physical and mental involvement. However, my imagination has been captured by following buffalo tracks in another habitat even more interesting than the plains or the Montane forests of Tanzania. The northern Masailand in Tanzania. This area in the Rift Valley is dry thornbush savanna country with sparse seasonal rainfall. Here you will only find species that can survive without permanent water. They are perfectly adapted to that habitat. Volcanic activity in the eastern Rift Valley has created numerous mountains, some towering more than 10,000 feet above sea level. In the millions of years since their creation, these mountains have developed a very different habitat to that of the semi-desert bush savanna which surrounds them. An evergreen montane forest, a habitat and retreat for species that require better grazing and permanent water. Upon my return to Africa at the end of the 1980s, I hunted in an area called Longido in northern Masailand, close to the border of Kenya. Mount Longido reaches 8,000 feet above sea level. I have long been fascinated by mountain, so I wanted to climb this one too. When I entered the Montane Forest zone for the first time, it felt like diving into a totally different world. Mosses covered the trees and rocks, which appeared quite surreal in this wet, foggy surrounding. The ground too was wet, and on several occasions I came in contact with large mammals. On my initial 2-day trip, I encountered elephant, buffalo and bushbuck. What a view, what an experience. In that same year, I was able to hunt my first Cape buffalo on the mountain. It was an experience which has affected my life as a hunter since. This film tells the story of the unique experience of hunting Cape buffalo in the mountains of East Africa. To me, hunting is not a social occasion. It is intensely personal, and as a result, I usually hunt alone or only experience it with hunters who share my outlook. Peter, a friend from California, is such a hunter. He has been to Africa numerous times and has hunted many buffalo. Our common desire is purely to hunt. That means to hunt on foot, to be in contact with the earth. Peter carries a double rifle with open sights. This limits our range. Long shots to the other side of a valley are impossible. Stalking as close as possible to a buffalo, that is the challenge, and also a chance for the quarry to get away. Before sunrise, we leave our base camp in the luxury of spacious safari tents and long drinks around the campfire. Buffalo hunting on these mountains is a real adventure. Nothing is predetermined. We decide to explore a new area of the mountain.
Yeah, the big middle ridge. Right. To go up, it looks like the first part is quite steep.
Yeah, it is.
And then we get on the
like
the ridge line.
Right, and then there's this big grass patch there on top.
Right.
And then from there, it goes pretty straight and all the way to the very top.
Right up into the clouds.
With a group of porters, we climb the mountain. While our crew is setting up our mountain camp, we familiarize ourselves with a new territory and look for signs of buffalo. Our anticipation builds as we make plans for the following day around the warm fire.
Is Lorraine asleep already?
Your best chances of finding buffalo out on the grass plains are early in the morning before sunrise and in the late afternoon when the temperatures are falling again. In the afternoon, however, you run the risk of running out of time as night comes quickly near the equator. To reduce the risk of losing your buffalo, you try to avoid shooting at buffalo too late in the evening. At a small spring, we find tracks from the previous day. 2 different bulls periodically make their way to this watering place. But because the tracks are not from the same day, we decide to climb further up to get a better look at the upper grass fields. You take your time when you're hunting buffalo in the mountains, as you need to move slowly and cautiously. The hunters stop frequently to search for buffalo in the small clearings. Early in the morning, while the herds are still on the move, you can hear the calves and the cows calling to one another. With an open-sighted double rifle in the caliber 500 Nitro Express, it becomes difficult at times to get close to the individual bull in a herd that you wish to hunt. In addition, most herds only support a few mature bulls. These are the reasons why we prefer to hunt the single bulls or bulls living in bachelor groups. Close to a water spring, we find fresh tracks of an old single bull. The vegetation gets thicker. We must be more cautious so not to alert the buffalo to our presence. He cannot be far off now. He is seeking a comfortable place to bed down for the day. As long as the wind does not shift, we will have the advantage. But as so often happens when you're hunting, nature delivers an unexpected twist. A herd of elephant crosses our path, or to be more precise, we cross theirs. There are not many elephant on this mountain, and it is rare to get this close. Should we continue to follow the fresh buffalo tracks, the elephant will definitely notice us. The elephant here are fairly aggressive, as they are the remnants of a huge elephant population which used to roam freely the northern part of Tanzania. Should the elephant become alarmed and flee, the commotion will warn the resting buffalo nearby. We decide to abandon our approach, hoping that we'll get a chance to continue in the afternoon. After reaching the upper slopes, we get lucky. A herd of buffaloes grazing on the grass fields of the next ridge. We can make out several bulls. As it is already late morning, we have to move fast to reach the herd before it moves lower into the forest to rest. During our approach, the herd had started moving downhill towards thicker cover. Our task of getting into a good position on one of the bulls is now more difficult. We will continue to follow the herd downhill as the wind is favorable. Luck is on our side. At the base of a small clearing, we finally meet up with a part of the herd. Now, to stay calm and wait for our chance. Cows and young bulls reveal themselves. The breeze begins slowly to circle. Hopefully, they will not get our wind. The herd begins to get nervous as some of them get our wind. The old bulls must be in the lower part of the herd as we cannot make them out. Suddenly, this enormous bull comes into the clearing, surprising us. A fleeting opportunity. Before Peter can place a clean shot, the bull disappears into the herd again. At this distance, and with open sights, the risk of placing a bad shot or even wounding another buffalo in the herd is too great. The herd is confused about the looming danger, and we decide to wait in the hope that another chance will present itself. After half an hour, we continue our pursuit. We did not get another chance, as the herd moved into thick cover. But the memory remains, together with our determination to continue our pursuit of the herd the next day. Morning mist, a frequent occurrence. For us, this does not cause a problem, as we are already following the tracks of the herd from the day before. But we're not alone. A lion has the same plan as us. From time to time we can hear him in the distance. The buffalo are on their way to the upper grass fields. Perhaps we can meet up with them there. As we approach the first grass field, we realize that the lion has caught up with us. It is following the same tracks. The mist obscures our view, but we can hear him slowly closing in. Finally, we see him a mere 30 meters ahead. It is a hungry young male. Slowly, he passes to get ahead of us. A tense situation. We have to be very careful now. The line is between us and the herd, and we certainly want to avoid bumping into a stalking lion. Bloody lion. Not only did he get ahead of us, he approached the buffalo so unskillfully that they spooked and took off. We decide to continue following their tracks. There he is again. It seems like he has given up in his pursuit of the buffalo. Incredible. The herd has moved down the entire mountain and out onto the grass plains. There they're grazing peacefully once again.
Yeah, we might be able to go along the ridge. Right. And then actually get ahead of them. Come back towards them.
If we have good wind, you know, we can, at least in the open, so we can really check out if that bull is still in there.
Yeah, that sounds great, like a great plan.
As the lion has given up, we now have a good chance, so we continue. Only 300 meters left, and the wind is perfect.
I see several. I see a couple really big ones. The bull's laying down.
There is the big one, slowly grazing in our direction, unaware of the looming danger. As we get lower into the valley, we realize that the visibility is not brilliant. The buffalo have started moving slowly up into higher grass to avoid the rising heat. Slowly we follow the herd. The buffalo take off. For a short while the wind changed, and in the high brush we could not see them clearly. Has the big bull remained lower down? Larinya and Peter are scanning the nearby thicket where we saw him last. We cannot believe it. We were so close, and yet the opportunity slipped through our hands. After following the same herd for the entire day, they finally take off over the ridge into the next valley. To continue after them is hopeless. It is too late in the afternoon, and we are far away from our camp. Although returning tired and empty-handed, our spirits are high. We are buzzing from the day's experiences, even without a buffalo. Late at night, we will get back to our mountain camp. The morning mist accompanies our search for buffalo. Three of the big five visited this waterhole last night: buffalo, lion, and elephant. We are unable to follow the tracks for very long, so we continue to search for others. Then, unexpectedly, a single bull stands up less than 10 meters in front of us. Everything happens quickly, and before Peter can put a shot in, the bull vanishes into the thick cover. A frustrating incident.
It was huge too.
Yeah, it was
big
a
buffalo.
It was a nice buffalo. It was an old bull.
Big, yeah.
Really old bull.
I can't believe we got so close.
And you. Lakini afikiri tunasubiri kwa sababu amekimbia labda jioni. Maybe we'll wait till afternoon, Peter.
Okay.
Rather than to follow straight away, we decide to track in the afternoon. He's alerted now, and we will have to be extra cautious. Furthermore, we'll have a better chance late in the afternoon when he starts feeding again.
Yeah, we'll follow, but it's really thick.
Maybe we'll get lucky.
Come on, let's go.
Slowly we begin to follow his tracks. Lorinho is an excellent tracker. He is a Maasai who are well known for their tracking abilities. And he's exceptional as he can stay focused following tracks for many hours. We have worked together for many years, and our experiences have molded us into an accomplished team. Tracking a mountain buffalo must be done silently, not always easy in this environment. It is late in the afternoon. Has the buffalo got up and started feeding again? Silently we continue on his tracks.
What do you say? What's he saying?
He said we maybe should just give up. He doesn't think we have a good chance here.
We're this far into it. Let's go some more. We got good daylight. Let's follow. Is anybody, buddy? So.
Lorinho notices something. Could it be the buffalo? Something blurred and black is visible in the thicket. Was it a good shot? It is everything we could have wished for.
Fantastic. All that work. Amazing. I mean, there was a hole like this, and I saw just eyes, a horn, and just with a solid right down the pipe. I don't think he moved. I think he just rolled.
We were fortunate that Peter could see him well enough to grasp the opportunity. His experience in Cool enabled him to execute the perfect brain shot at 30 meters, even switching to the left barrel and its solid bullet because the bull's head was obscured by leaves and twigs. A true professional.
Very nice, very nice. Man, he's beautiful. And he's old. He's really old. My God. Man, after all the work we've done, huh? Peter.
What a cool buffalo. What a great hunt.
It's great.
Unbelievable. I mean, we've been up and down the mountain a couple of times, all over the place. And
That's true.
I was ready to give up hunting. It was great. I mean, it couldn't be a more fantastic shot. That was wonderful. So this is the skull of the buffalo. Got him with a brain shot. You can see the damage internally, and as it broke through and got into the spine and just really blew his brain up. He never felt a thing, just was gone instantly. It's really a nice, clean way to go. Great hunt. Fabulous time. Thanks, Rainer.
A magnificent hunting experience that will live long in our memories comes to an end. We are pleased not to have taken the big herd bull, and we hope he passes on more of his genes. Ours is a wonderful old bull. What an experience. A sense of quiet satisfaction and peace settles over us. Our fly camp on the mountain naturally does not have the luxury of our base camp in the plains, but it is practical, and we do our best to keep it comfortable. It is essential to eat and sleep well. Only once these requirements are met is one able to hunt hard. The simplicity of the shower and the toilet is self-evident. In the evening, by the light of a lantern, in the shelter of our small mess tent, Frida and I enjoy our first mountain dinner.
Erzähl mir mal, wie geht denn das morgens so ab? Ja, wir stehen früh auf, 5 Uhr, 5:30 Uhr so. 6 Uhr, Viertel nach 6 bis halb 7 geht's los. Wir brauchen natürlich Licht. Ja, und dann werden wir den gesamten Tag unterwegs sein. Kleines Frühstück vorher? Ja, kleines Frühstück. Wir werden auf jeden Fall eine Lunchbox dabei haben, genug Wasser, das ist am wichtigsten. Ja. Und dann schauen wir mal, was wir im Anblick bekommen werden. Klasse, ich freue mich schon riesig drauf. Habe mich auch ordentlich vorbereitet. Ich hoffe, ich bin fit genug. Da mache ich mir keine Gedanken. Das wirst du mit Sicherheit sein. Ja.
We prepare ourselves for a long hunting day. We usually go out hunting for the whole day, so we need to take plenty of water and a small packed lunch. Frida, a German hunter, has prepared himself diligently for this adventure. He is in good physical shape, and before climbing the mountain, we spent some days hunting the plains game of Moss Island. He was able to bag a Thompson's gazelle, a Southern Grant's gazelle, and a white-bearded wildebeest, all taken with clean shots. On an earlier safari, we came across a huge single bull near a waterhole. The location is far from our fly camp, but with Frida, we can get there. On our way there, we spot our first mountain game on the other side of the valley, bushbuck. They can be seen here every day. For several hours, we searched the slopes near the waterhole, without getting a glimpse of the bull or indeed of any other buffalo. Then we hear the typical lowing of a herd of buffalo. I prefer to hunt single bulls or bulls from bachelor groups. Getting to within a few meters of a buffalo herd in the mountains is a good exercise. Becoming familiar with the situation helps you to maintain your composure and remain calm around buffalo. And you never know, maybe a good old bull will present itself. To get the wind in our favor, we must climb the slope once again and traverse to the next ridge. From there we can descend with a perfect wind. On the lower part of the ridge, we are once again able to catch a glimpse of the herd. Soon they will bed down in the shade of the forest, avoiding the heat of the day. We wait to get a better feel for their position. Now quietly, we have to get closer until they're right there in front of us. Although blurred, we're able to make out some bodies between the leaves, but as is common, at first only the cows show themselves. Larinya has identified an older bull. We are close now and need to be very careful so that the buffalo don't notice us. The bull moves back into the herd and we can no longer see him. Then suddenly, a part of the group gets our wind and takes off in alarm. We follow, hoping to find the bull again. The herd does not move far as they want to avoid crossing the open upper grass field. Lucky for us, we may get another chance. Once again, we managed to get in really close. With luck, the bull might show himself again. We carefully move closer to the herd, which is located between us and the edge of the open grass field. However, the tracks reveal that the herd did not stop at the edge of the grass. They simply crossed straight over into the next heavy cover, thus foiling our plans. We decide to abandon this group. Only 20 minutes after we had passed the grass fields, an older bull accompanied by another buffalo make their way through the open space following the herd.
Die haben uns verarscht.
We are walking the main ridge back to camp in the afternoon when we once again bump into a herd of buffalo. The herd is grazing and yet moving fast into a small opening in the forest. We immediately notice that there are no mature bulls in the front part of the herd. We quickly retreat from the edge of the clearing to give the herd space to move through. We search at length but cannot make out an old bull, and time is running out. We're moving closer to get a better look over the edge of the grass field. The nearest cow immediately notices us and gives us no chance. A great first hunting day. You could not hope for more encounters with buffalo. Over the following 2 days we hunted hard and were able to approach buffalo on several occasions. At noon of the 4th day, we spot a large, very old bull taking a rest in a small opening on the opposite slope. The approach is difficult. The cover on the steep slopes is thick, and with the prevailing wind, we'll have to close in from above. You can clearly see the wide, hairless forehead. The terrain is more difficult than anticipated. Even stalking slowly, we cannot avoid making some noise, but we have plenty of time. The bull has already left his resting place. Suddenly, Lourinho notices something under the bush in front of us. It is a young bull which must have died here less than a day ago. The old bull has chosen his resting place right beside the dead young bull. What a strange behavior. We follow his tracks. His droppings show that he left over an hour ago. We proceed on the tracks cautiously as he cannot be too far. We follow slowly downhill. Then suddenly, just below us, we hear a movement. Is it another bushbuck, or have we finally caught up with the bull? The bull shows himself briefly in an opening. We must get closer. We have to keep our nerve and follow silently. The tall vegetation obscures everything. He is not far ahead. We have to find him. There he is, right beneath us. We are close enough. The bull has received all 3 shots high in the shoulder, but placement was difficult in these conditions. Our patience is tested. Just ahead we can hear the heavy breathing of the bull, a clear indication that he is hit in the lungs. The bull is still on his feet. We hear him move slowly downhill. He is strong and, depending on the damage to his lungs, may remain so for some time. Light is fading now, further complicating the situation. We decide to give him another 10 minutes, and if he's still standing, I will approach him alone. We are running out of time. This might be the last chance of the day to end this hunt successfully. Therefore, I approach him with total concentration. Indeed, the bull was still on his feet and had turned ready for an attack. When I peeked over the bush, the bull immediately noticed me and started his charge from barely 50 meters away. But I was prepared and managed to drop the bull in his first steps.
See, it's good to have good socks. Very important.
At last, we got him.
Den haben wir gut gehört, ne? Ja. Mensch, hätte mir ja nicht gehört, du. Da wäre der weg. Was der für einen riesen Spalt hier oben hat.
Der für eine kurze Schnauze hat. Guck das mal an hier. Irre, ne? Das ist der Bulle. Oh nein. Wahnsinn, dass wir ihn noch gefunden haben. Unglaublich. Das war eine Jagd, du. Ja, ey, da hast du 2 draufstehen, das ist unglaublich.
Wir müssen den ganzen Büffel zerlegen, weil ansonsten geht das Fleisch kaputt.
Und das lassen wir heute Nacht liegen?
Ja, das hängen wir hier in die Bäume rein und dann sollen die morgen früh, können die den Akt selber machen. Da brauchen wir nicht mehr herzukommen. Wahnsinn. Okay, Sessa, mit mir.
After taking over an hour to dress out the buffalo, we begin our long walk back to camp.
Super, wa? Ja, we're on the path now. Sana.
The initial steep climb is completed, and we radio the good news to camp.
Tulipiga mbogo mwingine. Yeah, we got another buffalo.
Our hike back to camp will take several hours, but this goes easily. Our weary legs, like our spirits, are buoyed by the extraordinary experiences of the day. A group of porters leave early in the morning to recover the meat and the trophy of our bull. while we pack our gear for the move down to the main camp on the plains. Few safaris could match the intensity of the experiences that I shared with Frida. And few safaris could provide more wonderful trophies as these two old bulls by which to remember it. The Montane Forests of northern Marshland are home to a great variety of wildlife. All of the mountains support small populations of elephant. The herds have been steadily increasing since the early 90s, when large-scale commercial poaching was effectively curtailed. They are totally protected for the time being, and we all hope that this magnificent creature will soon be roaming the plains of northern Marshland just as before. A great variety of bird life makes use of this habitat. The Hadlap's turaka is one of the most spectacular. In the poor light of the forest canopy, it appears a dull green, but as it flies between the trees, one is struck by the bright red wings in metallic blue reflected off its back in the sunlight. Apart from buffalo, bushbuck is the most commonly encountered species of large mammal in the mountain forest of Los-Simingor. Trophy records confirm that the largest Maasai bushbuck are found in the mountain forest of East Africa. I have seen and taken male bushbucks weighing as much as 220 pounds. Eland also make use of this habitat during the dry season. At the onset of the rains, they move down to the plains for the sweet new grass. The buffalo too leave the mountain forest when the rain comes. However, they do not travel so far, for the lower slopes provide them with the cover that they require. Indeed, without buffalo, few hunters would tackle the challenge of the mountain. With increasing knowledge of the delicate balance of nature and our impact upon it, the hunter cannot avoid becoming aware of the role he plays. The hunter should only harvest those animals whose removal has the least negative effect on the well-being of a species. It is only by such practice that the mindful or conscientious hunter does justice to the awareness we have gained. Trophy hunting, which often involves killing the dominant breeding bull, does not fit this kind of consciousness. Imagine a cattle farmer constantly slaughtering his strongest breeding bulls, leaving the poorer bulls to pass on their genes. What would be the condition of the herd after several generations? With this in mind, the Cape buffalo is unique. As one of the more advanced mammal species, owing to its highly developed social structure, many male buffalo later in life become solitary or join with other bulls to create bachelor groups. Bachelor groups range from a few individuals to more than 30. They rarely move around as much as the breeding herds, and it is therefore not surprising that scientific studies show that as much as 80% of all the buffalo killed by lions are single old weak bulls or bulls taken from these groups. The hunting of these so-called dagger boys has no direct bearing on the health of the population, as the vast majority of these bulls do not return to the mixed herds to breed. Old bull elephant are also known to be solitary or reside in small bachelor groups, but they will travel great distances when in mass to mate with cows and estrus. It is for this reason that these bulls have a special place in my hunting life, and this is why I prefer to hunt these bulls exclusively. It is November. The short rains have started. The first green grass on the openings of the lower slopes of Mount Los-Simingor is attracting a few single buffalo. After the morning mist has disappeared, we're able to spot a single bull on the lower grass fields. I can see immediately that this is the big old bull I had seen several times during the year. He's the one I want. I've taken a few days off to hunt for myself again. The bull is very alert, and with my double rifle, I need to get fairly close. From the hollow, I can only make out the spine of the bull. He's still too far. I have to get closer. He notices something in the direction I have positioned the cameraman and my tracker. We have moved too hastily. He has noticed me now, and although I'm only 40 meters away from him, my position is not good enough to place an accurate shot. I am upset with myself for having been too hasty with my approach. Two days later, we spot the same bull in a small clearing within 300 meters of the spot where we stalked him earlier. The slight rain may assist us by masking the sound of our approach. When we are about 120 meters away from him, we hear two other bulls take off right in front of us. Initially, our bull remains calm, but then he too gets nervous and retreats into thick cover. So even this opportunity slips through our fingers. During the night, the three bulls left this small valley and moved towards the bigger grass fields further down the mountain. We were able to follow their tracks pretty easily after the night's heavy rain, and I was confident that we would find them soon. Just ahead, I noticed the back of a grazing bull. The terrain makes it difficult to get in close as there is no cover. I need to get to the right of a little ridge, hoping that this will bring me out very close to the buffalo. I'm lucky. The distance is perfect. But the bulls have noticed something. Now it is difficult, a dilemma. With the buffalo aware of us, I cannot move, but need to get into a shooting position. The bulls move off slowly with the big bull in the middle. they may offer another chance, so I ready myself. At about 90 meters, they stop. The first shot is perfect. The second one I miss. The bull will not go far. A finishing shot is not needed. I really worked hard for this one. At a time when hunting is no longer necessary for our survival, what justification is there in continuing to hunt? For me, making use of all the meat and possibly the hide must always remain a matter of course, for in that lays the origins of hunting. There can hardly be a more pristine way of immersing yourself in nature than to hunt. Hunting is not the quarry, the game, or the trophy. Hunting is the trail, the path, and the stalk. It is this kind of hunting that gives me the most intense way of experiencing nature and myself. Particularly on a mountain hunt for Cape buffalo, it is clear that without considerable physical effort, stamina, courage, and willpower, coupled with a lot of experience, you will not succeed. This conscious hunting, moving quietly through the environment with heightened senses, becoming aware of everything that surrounds you, down to the smallest sign and the faintest sound. That, for me, is the embodiment of hunting. And in doing so, you experience nature to an intensity which is exclusive to a select few. And you experience yourself with all your capabilities and all your limitations, without any excuses. It is only through such a process of elevated consciousness, with great respect for the animal and an appreciation for the magnificence of the creation, that anyone can truly say, I hunt.